What's up, my and welcome back to a new quick win. Today we are talking about gestures with Ionic in a React application. So in part 1 of this video we used Ionic animations to build up this little match and unmatch animations of a button. And we're gonna today continue this. We're gonna start with a code from the previous quick win and add gestures to have a Tinder-like swipe gesture on cards that we also previously had with Angular, and we're gonna see it's really that easy to implement gestures with Ionic because they have a great API. We can listen to all the relevant elements and then just animate the DOM elements around, and you're gonna see it's just amazing. If you want to follow along, link below the video to the quick win for all Ionic Academy members. And if you are not yet a member of the Ionic Academy, go check it out right now. IonicAcademy.com, the best place to learn everything Ionic. So go check it out, leave a like and hit the subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, and then we can dive into today's quick win. Alright, so let's get into today's application. We're gonna start with the code from the previous quick win we had about using the animations. So our current base is this application. We got two buttons. Those are the action buttons, which can both play a little animation, and we're gonna now create new component first of all. So let's do this, and let's call this profile card.tsx. I really wish there was like a generate command. I don't think there is one like with Angular, so that would be pretty nice because it's not too hard. Like, I don't know, I could probably just run touch from the command line, but I also want to do that for so I don't know. Okay, anyway, let's start our React profile card just like this. So then we got a profile card, and then we can also already integrate it into our homepage. And on the homepage, we're gonna actually define a few things because we're gonna reuse some code here for the card. So we're gonna create 3 different cards. If you want to create a little Tinder application, you could of course just get the information from an API and load it. However, we're gonna do it locally, and later on, all of these profiles will have a match, an unmatch, or a reset event. So we can then also bubble it up to the parent component and also pass it down to the buttons. So in the end, we will combine the gestures and animations. So for now, this means we're gonna just do it like this. This alone is pretty unhelpful, but it makes more sense once we got the profile. So the profiles will have an ID, an image, a name, a biography, and then all of the profile events using the spread operator. And I'm gonna just do this for 3 examples. Now, within my page, above the already existing actions buttons, I'm gonna add a new div class name. No, that's not what I want. That's what I want. Cards stack container, because we're gonna add some CSS to actually stack those cards. Otherwise, they're just going to be well below each other. And then we're going to map our profiles, and for every profile, we will create a new profile card, and of course pass down all the information of the profile. Probably use 3 dots for the spread operator, and also a key. And we're going to just set the key to profile.id. Okay, you're not yet happy with this, probably because I should remove this bracket and this as well. Come on, what are you adding to my view? I just want to have it easy like this. Thank you, come again. Okay, UI goes here. That looks good. That means our profile card is actually already displayed. So now let's move over to the profile card and implement a real simple profile card view. We need to make sure that we add a right interface. So let's define the interface using the information of the profile and the 3 functionalities it will have. And then we can just use that interface for our function component here. I don't know, this closing. It's sometimes helpful, but like most of the time it's actually not helpful. I should probably disable something. And then we're just gonna create a simple card in here. Looks like this. We're gonna use the mode iOS, and we also load an image and pass it some text. I should probably just use add all missing imports. And with that in place, we got 3 cards which get the container props, the information, image, name, biography, and then we got this nice little list of puppies here. Now, two more things in terms of styling. So first of all, we want to make the actual card look a bit nicer. So I'm going to bring in some CSS because writing all of this would be quite boring. It's just really like making sure that everything is aligned nicely. Let's see the result of this. I should probably reload this. Am I actually loading it? No, this is always the mistake I make. I forget to load the CSS and I'm really bad at, well, come on. This was like the worst removal of imports of all time. I want the profile card. You won't be able to do this automatically VS Code. I know you won't. Profile card dot CSS. It's probably right here, isn't it? Import profile card.css. Yeah, that looks better. So now we got the CSS applied. We got a little grid layout here. So the name and the information is on top of the image. That already by itself looks pretty nice. Did you know you can use the backdrop filter to blur something? That looks pretty epic, doesn't it? I really like. I've used this for full screen, and then you get a modal with a blurred background. That's pretty epic. And always don't forget to drink something. All right. Yes, there was one more thing missing, and that is, of course, the CSS for our homepage. Because at the moment, everything is below each other. And to change that, we're gonna add to our stack container a little grid layout. So the card stack container will get this, and also all div elements of that container. As a result, we have now everything stacked on top. I can't do anything else here. I can still use my action buttons, so that's a nice starting point. However, now we of course somehow want to move that around. And for that, we're gonna dive into our profile card. And first of all, add a reference. So we're gonna use React useRef and then add this ref to the parent element here. I don't know why. All my code compilation I'm using with React is working really, really horrible. I don't know why. Is this my problem or a React thing? Okay, this by itself won't change a lot, but we can now define a little gesture that we want to attach to that reference. So let's do this. Let's call this gesture init. There we go. And then we're gonna call gesture init right in the beginning. So let's add use effect and call gesture init in here. There we go. I think should we pass an empty array in here? Yeah, probably. Okay, and within gesture init, we're gonna first of all grab a reference to our card, which is simply ref.current. And we want to make sure that we only attach our gesture if we actually have a card. So in that case, we can get started with the actual gesture implementation from Ionic by importing create gesture from @Ionic React. We can see it up here, the import. Is there actually a wrapper component as well? Nah, not like with the animations we had that wrapper component. I was just curious if there was something. I don't know if this even makes sense. It's still very early here. Okay, to create the gesture, we're gonna pass the element on which we actually want to animate something. Then we can just give it a name. Let's call this one card swipe. And then we gonna have some callbacks. So we got on end, on move, and on start. We're gonna implement them later. Let's already add on move, which will give us some detail information. I'm gonna actually lock the detail here. And then we also got on end, or not one end, but on end, with some detail information. And then that's the end. Okay. At this point, we haven't achieved anything because we still need to enable the gesture. So let's do this afterwards, gesture.enable. And then we should see something. So let's move this here. I'm gonna open my, no. Oh, this is so great. Everything is popping up. Let's see. Yay, we got a lock here. And then at the end, I'm pretty sure my face is covering this. We got an end lock. Can I just delete this. No, I can't really. That's nice. I can probably just do it real quickly. Nice. That works. Okay, so that means our gesture is applied to that card. And now we can do, the world is our oyster. We can pretty much do everything we want to. So what we maybe want to do is on move, we want to transform our card. So I'm going to add this little transformation here. Actually got to put this back to the side like it was before and close this. And as a result, once I apply this, the card, is it only, yeah, thank you. This is the transformation I was looking for, exactly. However, you see, on end, if we end the gesture, the card also is stuck in there. So what we want to do is we want, when the transition, the gesture ends, also move back the card. And we can do this with a little transition as well, because otherwise it would just pop back. That's of course not a good idea. And then we need to of course figure out if we move to the left hand side or the right hand side and apply the right translation to the x coordinates, either a positive value or a negative value. And otherwise, if we just, if this is, well, yeah, then we can just reset the transformation, of course. So let's refresh. And I feel like it's, yeah, I should probably get into the preview here. That works a bit better. So I'm gonna give this a bit more space. That should already be enough, I guess. I can even move this completely out. Arc, you're so funny sometimes. Okay, so this is the effect I was looking for. I can turn it right, and if I release it, oh, actually, okay, yeah. That's because we are now leaving the view. So we passed the threshold and the card moves out. If I release it here, but if I release it just here, it's simply this, I don't know, this feels so rewarding. This little wiggle back, I don't know, this really, I like it. I like it a lot. However, we might want to also combine this now with the animation we created previously. So actually, I'm going to remove this here. Let me move things a bit around because you want to see the bottom area, and that makes more sense if my face isn't covering this. So what we want to do now is we need to pass around some information between the card, the buttons, and the home page. So in order to do this, we're gonna first of all change the gesture. So what we want to do is on move, if we move our card, we're gonna say if the delta is greater than 0, we want to call the onMatch function, and otherwise we want to call the onUnmatch function. And in the case of onEnd, we also want to call the onReset function. So we're pretty much bubbling up all the events to the parent component. Now we also need to touch our action buttons. So the action buttons also now need a new interface, so we can actually pass any information to them if they should currently animate or not. This is just a Boolean, and we can simply attach this right here to our action buttons and add the props in here, and now we can use this. So we're gonna use this under our create animation. So we're gonna start and play the animation. We're gonna play them if this becomes true, and we're gonna stop it when this is true. And we can now put in the same, just using the match button for our other animation here. And we will notice, yeah, that the home TSX is now of course complaining because we're creating action buttons without the Boolean values. So we could, can we do this in a fake way? Gonna do it like this, and then we need to add the, oh, nice. I even get the code completion here. Unmatch, animate, oh, come on. Animate, unmatch button. So I'm gonna pass some default values, and that we're gonna see if the page loads. This would now already animate this one button. However, of course, we don't want to do it like that. So we will also add a little state, making this a bit more complicated. So on our homepage, next to the profile events, or let's do it in front of the profile events. We're gonna add useState. We're gonna set this to false in the beginning. And then we have an animate unmatch button and an animate match button. So that means we can remove this and pass it to the action buttons. So I could also do it like this. But if it's the same name, we can also do the shorthand. It is just like this. I like this. And in case of our profile events, we're gonna change them now a tiny bit. So we're gonna actually do something when the events are triggered by our card. So in the case of a match, we want to set our match button to true and the other one to false. In case of an unmatch, we're going to do the opposite. And for reset, we don't want to trigger any kind of animation. And if I now hit reset and move this card, you see, look at the bottom, it passes down from our profile card the event up to our homepage, and the homepage sets the state, and that state is used in the action buttons, so it once triggers this animation. Actually, will it? Oh, that's actually pretty nice. I thought I would have to do something in the action button in terms of the iterations. But I feel like the iterations set to 1 should be sufficient to make this work. Yeah, it should. But will it work again? Yeah, it comes up again. So this is exactly what I wanted. And although we don't have any kind of API now in the background, and we could probably animate the disappearing, like the on end, it actually should disappear nicely. I don't know. It just feels too fast. Probably. Let's do this for fun. Let's just set this aside. Oh, this is so slow. This is funny. Where's the threshold? Here. Okay, it's not really better. Probably something like 0.5 or 0.4 would feel better. I don't know. Well, that's okay. That's quite nice. So we have done it. We have combined the gestures and animations using Ionic Create Gesture. Really, in general, the only thing you need is a reference to your element, a name, not really important. And then on move, on end, and on start could be implemented as well. And there are actually a few more properties that you can set inside a gesture configuration. You can check this out here in TypeScript directly or in the Ionic documentation. So overall, it's not too hard. And actually, the result we get is pretty epic. So add some gestures to your animations and your users will love your app. Alright, and that's it for today's quick win. I hope you enjoyed this simple example of using gestures and also the additional information of how we can pass around the props in our React application, so we can also combine gestures with animations, because in the end, combining Ionic gestures with Ionic animations is actually the best way to have some sort of interactive UI, and that is really appealing to your users. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, hit the subscribe button for more videos in the future, and I will hopefully catch you soon inside the next video. So until then, happy coding, Simon.